So they came around, and a group of men at this other village said, Dan, so tell us a little bit more about Jesus. Is he brown like us, or is he white like you? And how tall is he? And what sorts of things does he know how to do? Does he like to hunt and fish and stuff, or what does he do? And I said, well, I don't know what color he is. I never saw him. You never saw him? No. Well, your dad saw him then, because you can give information that was told to you by somebody who was alive at the time. And I said, no, my dad never saw him. They said, well, who saw him? And I said, well, they're all dead. It was a long time ago. Why are you telling us about this guy? If you never saw him and you don't know anyone who ever saw him, and those are the two basic forms of evidence for the Piraha, why would you tell us about him? We don't want to hear about this. So then I translated, and I paid a Piraha to repeat after me on the tape to the Gospel of Mark. So I did translate the Gospel of Mark. And I had this Piraha guy saying it, and it sounded pretty natural. We had a little music to it, hand crank tape recorder, and I gave it to them. And I sat around with a group of men around the fire, and they're playing this, and they're understanding it. I know they're understanding it because they're asking questions, and they say, who's talking on this tape? Sounds like Pehuatai. And I said, it is Pehuatai. And they said, he doesn't believe this stuff. And he never saw Jesus either. So that was the end of it. But as I started working with really paying attention to this, I realized that, what do I bring to them? What is the message that I'm supposed to be giving to these people? That they're lost? They're not going to feel lost. I mean, in my evangelism teacher in Bible school said you got to get them lost before you can get them saved. And if you can't make these people feel, that's why David Livingstone, when he went to Africa as a missionary, said that the first step of missions is to destroy the local culture. Destroy it through capitalism, because as you create a desire for Western goods, they will realize how worthless they are, and they will listen to the missionary about their God. That is an effective strategy, by the way. That the church growth movement that was alluded to earlier is also a movement in missionaries, among missionaries, and it says that the groups most likely to respond to the message of the gospel are groups that have been traumatized. And so those are the places you should work, among traumatized groups, and then tell them about the gospel. This is not a big surprise. That people who are down and out on their luck, somebody else comes along who's rich and powerful and tells them, here's how I got rich and powerful, they might believe that. But what I was trying to say didn't fit, and it became clearer and clearer to me that it didn't fit. And when I was just completely irrelevant, and it was even more than a feeling of irrelevancy. It was a feeling of profanity, that I was profaning something very beautiful by telling them that I had access to truth that they needed, when clearly I didn't.